You know, honey, spending 14 days with you on a road trip through Romania, I thought wasn't going to be very fun, but you're a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Romania was awesome. I got to practice my Dracula impersonation and bite your neck, and
Hey, don't be giving away too many secrets over our romance.
But we had a great time in Romania.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Amazing country. And spent 14 days on a road trip, which is something that we don't usually do. Mm-hmm. And we're going to bring the highlights to you. But we're going to tell you about the whole thing. We're going to tell you about the most important parts, maybe some things that we would do differently. Yeah. And we're also going to give you all of the costs so you know what to expect if you want to do a road trip through Romania.
And we're even going to share some places we didn't go that a lot of other people recommend going. So we're going to defend a little bit about our choices too. So Who are we? I'm Chris. You're Steve. Hi, we're EatWalkLearn. We sold all of our stuff in May of 2021, left Denver, Colorado, and we have been traveling full-time ever since. You can grab a whole series of books we've written about our nomad life, living our nomad life, and even talking to 25 other nomads about how they live their life in our book series that you can find on Amazon. All right, so how did we go about doing this trip? Where did we fly into? Where did we go? Do we have a roadmap of what we did? Tell me what we did, hon.
Yeah, so we can show everybody the map that we did of our entire 14-day road trip. In the middle of that, we actually did 3 days of hiking. And we're not going to talk about the hiking portion of that. We got a separate video on that particular portion. You can watch that here. We're going to talk about the road trip portion of that. We're not going to even talk about that whole thing. But we flew into Bucharest, and a great city. But when we got there, we just stayed one night and got a car and left the next morning towards Brasov.
Yeah. So we picked up a 6-speed Dacia car. We named her Countessa Carpathia after the mountain range that we're going to be driving through. By the way, grab all these details from our website. Go to EatWalkLearn.com, search on Romania, just go to the search bar, click on Romania, or search on Romania. All these details, that includes a link to the map, all of the hotels, all the GPS coordinates, everything we did is in that blog post. So rather than look at the description below, go to the blog post, you can see it all. Okay, so day one, we land in Bucharest. The next day, we get the car the next day, and we got it from Discover Cars, and then off we went to Brasov.
Yes.
Well, we didn't go to Brasov. We went towards Brasov, and we stopped at the Palace Castle. You want to talk about the Palace Castle?
Yeah, well, I was very impressed with it. I thought it was amazingly, the way it was redone and really restored to look and feel just like as if you were there in, 1890 or 1910.
It was earlier than that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how you see movies and you see like castle sets and it's all this luxurious, dripping with diamonds and jewelries and treasures? That was this. So it was really nice to go into a castle that was authentically decorated. I mean, a lot of castles we go into are ruins, or they just have a couple there things to simulate what might have been in the castle.
Yeah.
This is a true luxurious tapestries and carpentries and furniture and carvings and so on. So I really enjoyed the Palace Castle.
And even down, to the bedrooms and the bathrooms. It's always funny. You never see the bathrooms. But yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah, highly recommend. And it's a national treasure with the government. So then from there, I think we stayed the night in Brasov, and then we went to the Dracula Castle the next day.
Yeah,
you really liked it.
Bron Castle. Yeah, so that the story, the Dracula story, didn't really happen. I mean, wait, some spoiler alert. So there's a little bit of of a touristy trap kind of a feeling, because there's Bron Castle, and there's the whole story about the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler. But I think it was really well done. I really enjoyed going to that castle. It was definitely more like, cold, dark rooms. Yeah. And it didn't have all the, the plushness like we saw in Palace Castle the day before.
Yeah. But the castle, I think the Dracula Bron Castle kind of fights the history of the truth of the castle, which is fascinating about the royalty of Romania, and the fiction of the castle with Dracula. So I think we're going to recommend going because we've all heard about this castle and it is a worthy tourist attraction. I like Palace much more than Dracula Castle, and I liked the royalty history at the Bron Castle, Dracula Castle, more than I liked the way they told the Dracula story.
Yeah, and just think about how the story of, vampires and Dracula has really permeated our media.
Right.
There was even a little bit there about, recently there was a movie on with Dracula, and there's the Count
with
in
Transylvania
Sesame Street.
or something. Yeah. So yeah, it certainly permeates our culture. So worth going just to kind of put that all together.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the people and the language in Romania. The one thing that, again, it surprises me over and over again, how many people speak English. And we really didn't have any problem. There were no language barriers. Maybe once or twice.
When we were on the hike, we were really in some rural sections and we needed to use our Google Translate at some of the inns. But in general, plenty of English around. We didn't have any problem getting around. And the people were so proud of their country. I mean, most people are proud of their country, but Romanians are really like, we're so glad you're here. They don't have that anti-tourism backlash that's happening elsewhere in Western Europe.
Yeah.
Really glad we were there. And they were very proud of their country in that it had mountains and it has sea and it has river and it has rural and it has city. But there's lots to do in this little small country and plenty of days. You don't have enough days to do all the things you could do there. And they're really proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the people that we had a chance to talk to really get to know some of the locals.
She would say hi to Soren. He's probably watching. Hi, Soren!
Because they love their country and it is a great country to love.
Yeah.
So it really, really enjoyed being there.
Yeah. So from Brasov, we headed to the Transvargarsen, and I know I'm saying this wrong. All you Romanians, please correct me. Transvargarsen highway. This is a famous road. It's considered the best road in the world to drive. So it beats the Pacific Coast Highway. It beats the drive up to Mount Evans / Mount Blue Sky in Colorado. It is this twisty, turny road that they even featured it on Top Gear, the television show Top Gear. Boy, was that fun. But watch out for the bears.
Bears? What do you mean bears? Yeah. It was so much fun to just see the bears just like hanging out. Like, I'm Yogi. and there are signs everywhere to see, beware of the bears, don't feed the bears. And so please, if you go there and you see the bears, stay at a safe distance. And we did, even though it looks like we got a couple of close-up pictures. That was like 10, 100x on the zoom on the camera.
Yeah, but it's apparently people drive this road, especially on motorcycles, and they bring pizza with them and they stop and they feed the pizza to the bears from their motorcycles. And last week, one of the bears attacked the guy that fed him pizza from the motorcycle. So don't feed the fuzzy dogs.
They like shiitake mushrooms on their pizza, and if you put the wrong kind of mushroom.
Anyway, don't miss driving this whatever the name of that road is.
Transylvania.
Yeah, bless you. It's a lot of fun. Okay,
it was a blast.
Next up,
but while we're talking about that, so Chris is our designated driver when we do road trips like this for two reasons. One is she thinks I'm not a good driver, and she also is not a good passenger.
No.
So,
blame this on me.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, it works for us. He navigates, I drive. And it works for us. So, but about the roads in generally. So you have the Transvargarsen Road, which is, but we're going to do a little an image here. I captured the GPS for this one day, and we're going to drive 144 miles. It's going to take us 4.5 hours. Now, if you're an American, you translate 144 miles. That's 2.5 hours of driving, give or take. Yeah, no, I'll be there by breakfast. The roads are good. I mean, they're well paved. They're not pot marked, but all the roads, especially on this route that we're telling you, they go through every village. If you ever want to get off the beaten road, off the beaten path, Romania, the whole country is off the beaten path.
You talk about the towns that don't even have a traffic light, right? And you think about in the United States, or the one traffic light kind of towns. This is like one right after the other. As soon as you leave a town, like count to 30, and you're in the next town, and they've just got the next the pub and the restaurant and the church and the 17 houses and then the school. And then, you wait 30 seconds to the next one and the restaurant, 17 houses and the church.
And then the trucks are on the same route with you. So I felt like I was driving in third gear the entire time. So probably the average speed was 30 miles an hour. And, every once in a while you would get to a long pass and you would be able to get up to fifth gear or whatever. But it is slow. The roads are good, but it is slow driving. Now, in the southern portion of the country, there are the autopistas, the interstate system, the toll road system, which are beautiful interstates, multi-lane, cement, fast, 60 to 85 miles an hour, no problem. But up, on a large portion of the country is still these twisty-turny.
Yeah, and we were, 14 days. Yeah. And most of the time we were in the Carpathian Mountains. Yeah. And it was just these curvy little towns. And there
beautiful,
was just no...
but slow.
No expressways to go fast.
And so we try to do like 4 or 5 hours a day driving, with breaking it up with lunch generally or something along that line. Okay, or with one of these activities. Okay, the next day, we stayed in the town of Cluj-Napoca. We did not spend a lot of time in Cluj-Napoca, and we recommend absolutely staying more time there. Very beautiful city with lots of really pretty buildings and things to do. The International Film Festival was going on while we were there. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to stay there. What we did have time to do while we were there, which is one of my favorite things we did on this whole trip, was go to the Salina Turda, which, if you translate that into Spanish, from Spanish, is not a nice word, but it is the salt mines. So this area is known for mining salt. And this particular mine, they closed it, 100 years ago, and they've turned it into an amusement park. So you can go into this mine, you can go down, 5 or 6 floors, to an amusement park. And I mean, it's not like Disney. I mean, there's one wheel thingy and there's a lake that you can get boats and you can play pool and golf, mini golf. But it's kind of silly and then you can learn mining history and you can see the salt stuff also. So that's really cool.
The history of the mining, it was amazing and just incredible to see how the mining was actually accomplished and what it was like. So from a historical perspective and geology and just the experience was pretty cool. And bring your jacket because it could be 100 degrees outside and it's going to be like 50 degrees inside.
Now, all around that area is Sigashora and other places that people recommend, and Cebu. Nice places. I mean, put them on your list. We're not highlighting those because you can see highlights from many other people talking about those places. We're trying to pick up off the beaten road places that we really enjoyed, that we were the highlights of our trip. So from Cluj-Napoca, we went, the fourth thing we're going to recommend is to drive east across the country. We went through Red Lake and these beautiful canyons and things and did a little hiking. Yeah. But we ended up at the Danube Delta.
Well, before we do that, let's talk about the food a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because Romanian food was really interesting. Heavy on meat products.
Heavy on the heavy.
Heavy on the heavy foods, heavy stews. But we did find some things that we liked. There was a bean dish.
Yeah, they had a bean
really
stew.
Liked, and beets, and there were some really good things that I enjoyed.
I ate a lot of polenta, and the polenta is served like they take a mashed potato scoop and they scoop out polenta and serve it as a scoop, and then they cover it with cheese and sour cream. Not a heart attack on a platter by any means, but high calorie, highly dense, highly creamy. There's no way you could eat as a vegan anywhere in Romania. Everything is just loaded with creams and so on. I mean, you could probably find a few. We did find a few vegan restaurants in the big cities. We found lots of choices, but out in the country, you just do what best you can do. I really enjoyed. They had a beet salad with horseradish topping or horseradish sauce on it, which was actually the beets together with the horseradish was a really nice combo that I enjoyed. But a lot of times we would find the Lidl or the local grocery store and go in and buy fruit and veg and maybe some lots of cheese. You can buy cheese on the side of the road. Lots of the farmers are selling their cheese on the side of the road. There's actually a cheese trail, which is kind of fun, and lots of bread. So sometimes you just go with it. We even learned about French tacos, so that was also fun.
Yeah, French tacos.
Yeah, look it up. Actually, I talk about it in the blog post, EatWalkLearn.com. Okay, so we end up on the Danube Delta.
Yeah, so this was really different because we had been spending all this time in the mountains and hiking and roads, crazy roads and things like that. To go down into the Delta, we're in the flatlands. We're in the bayou, if you will, of Romania, getting close to the Black Sea.
Yeah, so this is where the Danube dumps into the Black Sea. And we went, and I think it was for $60 for the two of us, we did a 2-hour boat ride on the Danube. And we went and saw, they showed us the river people. I felt like we were like in New Orleans looking for the Cajuns. Like we were, we saw the river people. And
the townsfolk that live by the side of the river and fish all day.
Yeah, and we saw a fishing camp village. And then we went to this, like a bird sanctuary. It wasn't a sanctuary, it was just part of the river. But we're sitting there, and how many? 500 pelicans? 1,000 pelicans?
Incredible. It's just
this whole flock.
It started with like 6 pelicans just sitting there, and white pelicans. So they're really cool. White pelicans are awesome. And then, and one lands, and another one lands, another one lands. And then you look up, and there's just this, like, I don't know, 500 of them in the sky. And just taking their time and with their landing pattern, all of them coming in for a landing.
Yeah, it was really remarkable. We've seen pelicans many, many times, but I've never seen a whole colony of pelicans come and land. Now, we were only on the Danube for a couple hours, and the little town where you launched to go in the Delta, it was just a little, not a spectacular town, just a nice little waterfront and walked around. The reason why we're recommending the Danube Delta is it's a very unique experience, and something, if you have not done a Delta or done a river cruise or something, or seen lots of birds, and I kept on looking for alligators, but there weren't any. We come from Florida. We've come from the South. We've been on a lot of Deltas. We've done a lot of river cruising. So some friends of ours that we met in Romania recommended we go. It was not that spectacular to us, but we think it would be spectacular for most viewers. So we are recommending it at probably a 2-day stay. You can even, there's all kinds of cruises that you can do. You can go right up to the waterfront. There's all kinds of people selling, all kinds of vendors and boat people selling experiences. And so you can go out for like a 2-day overnight thing, which I think actually would be, especially in the evening or at night, would be really fun. Now, the Danube Delta, actually right there, on one side is Romania, on the other side is Ukraine and Moldova. So we were along the Ukrainian border, and if you read in our blog post, we talk about how we went to Ukraine. We're not going to recommend that as a highlight for the trip. If you go to Ukraine, great. We support you going to Ukraine. But it was interesting being in a bordering country to Ukraine and then being so close to the border many times. Did you feel scared or frightened by that?
Yeah, I was not. I didn't feel threatened or frightened at all at any time. I felt completely safe. The people around the towns were just going about their business. I don't think anybody, and we talked to some people about Ukraine, but they did not talk about it as if this was like a dangerous thing for Romania.
Right.
So I think Romania was completely safe, and I felt completely comfortable being there.
It was interesting, though, when we were on the boat ride on the Danube, we did see some fighter jets come from Romania and do an aerial patrol of the border. So just a reality check of we were next to the Black Sea and next to Ukraine, where a global war is going on. So that just, kind of took a little reality check as we were watching the Pelicans. We saw, it's on the fighter jets. So that was a little interesting. Okay. The last place we're going to recommend is to go to Bucharest. We shortchanged ourselves on Bucharest. We landed there, we came in and out of there and just thought, well, we'll just spend one day. That's definitely a city that deserves much more time.
Yeah, well, we were there for a couple of days, and we did see a lot of the city, and it's a fabulous city. It's very walkable. It's very big. It's bigger than I anticipated. And the architecture is beautiful. The history is really interesting, and we definitely could have spent some more time there. So I'm looking forward actually to going back and doing more of Romania, and definitely spending more time in Bucharest.
Yeah, and all these big cities that we went to, Sighișoara, Sibiu, Brașov, and Bucharest, we used the GPS My City app, where they had free walking tours in the app. So you just download the app, and it gives you a walking tour to do by yourself, and it gives you the history of all the points. So you don't have to go do a free walking tour with a tour guide. You can do it on your own and get the same information. And we really enjoy that because we can modify that and do it at our own speed. Okay, we did not tell you at the beginning of this video that we're going to share all the cost with you. We did tell you where we would not recommend you going. So which should we do first, the cost or the not recommendations?
Let's talk about like the different recommendations of what we do differently.
Okay.
So we're talking about.
We do not recommend going to the Black Sea. I mean, even though it's a pretty beach and it's a pretty sea, it's not spectacular. The water, I mean, it's pretty because it's a beach town. It's pretty, but I think if you're looking for beach and you're looking for waterfront and you're looking for a beach vacation, there's other places to go in Europe that are better.
We were just a little bit jaded in that we had just come from a month in Greece on the beach. So spectacular beaches and mountains and water and swimming. And then Romanians love to go to the Black Sea. I mean, This is like they live for this kind of thing, and to be able to go to the sea and to the beach, coming from the mountains or wherever they lived in
their own country,
So it is a very special place, and maybe we just didn't give it a chance. But I think it's just because we just come from spectacular places.
Yeah, I would have rather we spent 2 days on the beach. I would have rather taken that time and gone to Bucharest or spent more time in Brasov, or even more time hiking up in the mountains. The 3 days of hiking, maybe we could have done 5 days of hiking or something. So,
but if you've been to the Black Sea and you know a great place and you want to recommend it, please do so. Because we're going back.
Yeah, we're not dissing it. We're just saying reprioritizing our time.
Right.
Okay. I would also say I really wish we would have spent more time on the cheese trail and stopped at some of the farms and done some cheese tours. We missed that. We didn't realize that we were even on the cheese trail. We're seeing all these farmers selling cheese along the side of the road. And by the time we realized what it was, we were already past the area and we didn't go back. So I wish we would have spent some time doing that.
There's the cheese trail, and also wine is very popular in Romania. And we're not huge, wine drinkers, but definitely if you are, you could seek those places out as well.
Yeah. And I think that's a good overview. So we would spend 3 days in Bucharest, 3 days in Brasov with all the castles, 2 days on the Transylvania Road, 2 days in the Selina Turda mine in the Cluj-Napoca area, and then 2 days on the Danube. I think that would be a nice circle. And you would also hit some of the monasteries, the wooden monasteries along the way, which we stopped at one of those, thought it was fantastic. I think it would have been fun to do more of those to have a comparison.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cost. What
everybody always wants to know how much things cost. Okay. We're going to give you the total cost for the total trip that included the 3 days of hiking. So we spent $800 on hotels, which includes 4 nights that we paid for with points. So that was about, 8 nights a hotel or something? Eight nights? We spent $800 on hotels. Food was about $300. Again, a lot of our hotels included breakfasts. We did a lot of Lidl and grocery store pickups. So really, we didn't eat out a lot. I would say that's not even 7 or 8 meals over 2 days, 2 weeks. Yeah. Entertainment was about $120. That included our Danube Delta and the entry fees into the castles. And then the car, amazing deal on the car, again at discovercars.com. We got the car for $110 for 14 days. And there was $150 of gas. The price of a gallon of gas was about $7 a gallon.
Yeah, it was over $7 a gallon if you do the conversion. Gas was definitely expensive. And so, part of our recommendations are to maybe tighten up the circle a little bit, not go as far off crazy places that we went to spend a little bit less time in the car. Yeah.
So the total cost that, as we are reporting it, was about $1,500. Take away about $300 for the hiking portion. So just this road trip was about $1,200.
Yeah, just kind of, commentary. I thought it was very affordable. Mm-hmm. Food was not expensive. Our accommodations, we had nice accommodations the entire time, and really pleasant accommodations, and they were not expensive at all. So it felt like we were getting a great deal. Probably the worst thing was how much we paid for gas. Yeah.
And some of the hotel rooms, I felt like a czar and a czarina. They had like chandeliers in them and really ornate furnishings. It was kind of fun. You could get that Romanian impact, and a lot of them were at farm stays as well. Like when we're hiking, they were at the farm stays, so that was really cool too. All right, if you have any questions or got some suggestions for Romania, please let us know. If you want to know about the hiking, you can watch this video here. If you want, or you can also go to our website and read also about the hiking. I'm going to also throw up a little short video here. It is of the trail markers on the hiking. All of the trail markers are hand carved and different. It's 1,600 pieces of art over 1,600 kilometers. That's fun to watch too, so take a look at that. We'll see you next week.